Hi, this is part three. Sorry, this is part three of our video series of session 5. Um, so this here is our composite uh, completed. So we don't need to these others, so we can just go ahead and remove them. Before I remove them, I promise to show you how to use another technique to combine the bands. So you can go to Windows. If you click on Windows, you see this image analysis. And then when you click on that, um, you see already the combination of the files are combined here. And one thing you need to make sure is that to make sure they are in the right order. So we uncheck this because we did this, and then we make sure that this 110 needs to come down here, kind of put it down. Come on. Number 10 needs to come down here, at the very end. All right, right here. All right, and then we need also to move number 11. 11 needs to move also here. Come on. It doesn't move, it's really stuck. Number 11 needs to move here. So we kind of keep going slowly. Where is the number 11? Number 11 still there. Come on. We need to move, we need to move, we need to move, we need to move. We need to move 7, we need to move 10, 11 here. Alright, I think they're now in order. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So remember that one is unchecked, so it's not going to participate in that operation. So if I click on this here, expand pane, expand, and what have I got here? I'm going to select those, and then I'm going to expand this pane. Let's expand, and it's going to, if I click on this guy to see what's out there. So now you see there is a tool here. It says composite bands. You can click on that, and when you click on that, it will create a new band called a new composite band, which is here. I think you can see it. You need to select it, and actually, if we look at the table of contents, you can right click, properties. You'll notice that it's not permanent. It's just if you go to source and you go down, it says status, it's temporary. So to make it permanent, you need to select it in here in this image analysis window here, and then you go to, let's see, tools. I don't use them very often, but I'm sure there is a button for saving. It's still spinning, won't let me finish the whole thing. Come on. Alright, let's expand it. You see this save? You can go ahead and save it. You select the composite and you go ahead and save it. It's going to save it under session 3, and now session, I'm just not session 3, session 5, session 5, open. And so it's gonna be let's create a new folder, call it like a data 2. In this data 2, I'm going to say compose final, and sorry, I need just to select the, because we have add here, we select the folder only, and then we add, and then we hit save. And when we hit save, it's going to save this file. So I don't want to do that because it's going to take a while, but we'll eventually get the same image as this one we had here. So you can close this. This was just to show you another way of creating a composite bands. So now we have this. I think we can just remove this one, and we'll stay with this one we just created. And we are going to go ahead and just select the other ones, remove them because we don't need to use them anymore, and we do the right click and remove. So definitely we're going to stay with one. Notice that also this one, if you do right click and you go to properties, the cell size is 30 by 30 meters, and it's not temporary as the other one. This is permanent. It's permanent, and it is using WGS 84, so that's the coordinate system. And how many bands? You can see the bands are from 2, 3, up to 11, 1 up to 11. And so, all right, so if you go to symbology, you can change the order of the bands. Red can be, let's say, 7, and band 2 can be 4, and band 3 can be 2. And if you go to use the if you click OK here, now you have what we call like a true color. It looks like more like you will see the same image on the ground. We can zoom in to look at the image. Can zoom in and zoom in, and now you can look more like something you see on the ground. We don't see the details very much, but you can see like the water here. You can see a built-up area. You can see the roads. You can see, for example, the green area. You can see the water here. You can see the built-up area. You can see the green area. It can be like agricultural land. The brown can also be agricultural land. This is something we need to figure. We'll see. We'll figure out. And also notice that, for example, if you go to properties and you change the symbology, you can, for example, let's say red becomes 2, becomes 3, and green becomes 2, and the blue becomes 1. And if you hit OK, then you have a different, you have what we call like a false color. And when you zoom in, mostly the red will indicate the vegetation. You can play with different combinations, and as you play with different combinations, some of the features can stand out very well. Like, for example, if you do this combination, you see water is very, very, very clear here. You can see water. You can actually see that class, and also the built-up areas are white, so they are not. It's not mistakable. You can see the built-up area, including the roads, the road impervious surfaces, basically. So let's just come back to the other combination we did, which is 742. We go to symbology. The first band is 7. Second one is 4. Second one, you can always play with these different combinations and say apply and say okay. All right. So now you can see the true image here, but sometimes it can be confusing. You wonder what it is. You don't know exactly what it is. Um, the technique we use to do this is to kind of zoom in, zoom out, and then capture the whole image. Let's say you want to see what land use is, different types of different types of land use. So you go to these uh, and go to session 5, and I'm going to. I hate when I don't have the. Just going to data and just create a new uh, file database. It's gonna be also create like a image class. Wow. And then I'm going to create a new feature. I'm going to create a new feature class. It's going to be a polygon, so I'm going to extend like an image underscore x image extent. It's going to be image extent extent extent, and it's going to be a polygon. It's going to be okay for the projection. I go to layers, and I think this is it. This is exactly like this one we have here. So now we click next, we click next, we click next, and click finish. So now we have this image extent. So we can close this guy, and we can go to right click, edit features, start editing. You are pretty much familiar with this system. So I will I will just make this bigger, make this even bigger, and then I can go to editor. Where's the editor tool? Can go here to create features and image extend. I click on that. I can even close that. So I can click on the. I don't need to be precise, but just to see the different types of land use in the image, I can click here, I can click here, and then when I'm done, right click, finish sketch. So it's done. So now I go to editor, stop editing, save. Yes, I want to save the edits. And then the other thing is to convert that layer into Google Earth. We are going to use the conversion tools, Arc Toolbox conversion tools, and go to KML. This one, layer to KML. We click on this one. You can do it in a model builder, but just trying to be quick here. So you decide it's gonna be output file. It's gonna be it. Make sure it doesn't go into the geodatabase. The KML doesn't go into your database. It's outside. So it's gonna be called like a image extent. It's gonna be that, and it's KMZ. And I used to put like a 5,000 here, just so that when the image blows up in Google Earth, I just see it really big and quick. And all right, so I think this is done. So I'm going to go ahead and open up, find where I saved it. I'm going to go to here. I'm going to get to 5 data and image extent. Here it is. So I double click on that one. It's going to open up Google Earth, and I will see the extent of my image. should show up here. Come on, come on, come on, come on. It should show up here, and boom. I should probably close this guy. So this is where our image is. This is what the part of the Earth that was captured. All right, um, so let's see. What we can do here is to go to where the image is. That's image extent in the table of content. Just expand that, and when we right click to see properties, we can actually go to style and color, and we can, for the line, we can change the color of the line and make it red and say okay, and we can increase the size, and just make it something like 3. And for the color inside, we don't need a color. I guess we can go to where is no color. Now we are going to increase the opacity here, to decrease, sorry, to decrease to, let's just give it 0, right? And then we are going to hit OK. So now this is the extent of our image. So now using Google Earth, we can zoom in and see what we have here you know, we can zoom in. Sorry. We can zoom in here. Zoom in more, zoom in more, zoom in more, zoom in more, and you can see the kind of features we have. So you can see on this image, on this Google Earth image, you can see clearly where, for example, a river is. You can see where a forest is. You can see where the built-up area is. Of course, when you're going to do the classification, you will need to kind of generalize because there are small patches. So you need kind of proceed with a certain generalization and say, for example, all this area is a built-up area, so it's a built-up area. So again, depending on the object, the use of the image. So we are still within the bounds of the image. Let's say, for example, just to give you an idea, here is the image, and let's just uncheck the other guy. So if I decide that this is water, see this shape, let's say I want just to make, just to check, just to make a training, like maybe I'm creating a training, a training a training polygons or signatures. Let's say just for the sake of this exercise, let's just create another polygon, new feature class, and let's call it like a lake, one, something like that. So just lake, and it's gonna be a polygon. It's next. It's gonna same coordinate. Next, finish. All right. So now this lake, I can just go ahead and make this lake. Edit features. Start editing, and then editor tools, lake. All right. So now I can just go and let's say I don't know what it is. This is just an example. You can do this for anything, for any feature you want to check, any feature you want to check to make sure it's the right thing, so I'm not doing it, very perfectly. It's just for, you know, something like that. I want to see what this is. Finish this, and then editor, stop editing. Yes, save. All right. Then I want to see if this is exactly the lake. I can even make the outline here. Instead of doing in Google Earth, I can just finish it here, make it 1, 2, 3, and then fill color, no color, and then say OK. So now I can going to convert these guys into Google to KML, layer to KML. I just plug in this lake, I put in there, and then it's gonna be called, I'm gonna call it uh, lake, okay, save. Just quickly and give it 5,000, and then I click OK. Boom, done. It doesn't really take long. So then I go to find my lake. It's here. Double click, and then it's gonna just send me to something to check. Boom. So you see, the lake I had on the image corresponds to the lake I have here. So now now you see that Google Earth can help us do the classification, and it's very, very, very useful. Um, so now let's go back to our image. It's here. So let's just remove the other guys. We don't need those. Remove. We don't need those. Image extent. Well, don't need this. Remove. So we have our image here. So now, to be able to do the image classification, we can just go to here. You can search for tool, and you can go to, come on, I want hurt, image classification. Hmm. 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 Image. Image classification. I don't find it. Well, it's not there. It's there, but the way you can find it is go to help, right click here, and find that something called image classification. Here it is. You click on that, it's here. Now, it has so many tools. There are different methods of classifying: maximum likelihood, ISO cluster and supervised classification, class probability, principal components. So let's start with ISO cluster and supervised classification. So if we do that, it's going to ask us to put in the raster bands. So we do, so it's here, and number of classes. So we can decide the number of classes we want. Let's say we want maybe 10 classes. And then we're going to say, okay, all right, we're going to call it like output. It's gonna be let's create another folder called output. And so we type in, like, let's say image unsupervised, and optional. We can leave everything optional. Okay, all right. If you want to have an output signature file, you can just decide to save it as well into the output. You can call it like a unsupervised signature and you save it as well, and then you can click OK, and then you wait. It's going to work. Then you wait. It's going to classify automatically, and this method is used mostly if you are doing like a monitoring of forest health, like over a long time, like over 10 years, no, over 20 years, 50 years, um, because it is very consistent in the way it samples, in the way it classifies. It is just consistent, as opposed to doing a controlled classification or supervised classification where a human being is controlling the classification. Um, so this will take a few minutes, and we can wait to see what happens. We can wait and see what happens. This also could, it's going to take a while, but just give it a few minutes and see what happens. Okay, voila. This is really great. So the we have four classes. We have five classes, and so I did classes classification for us, so we can actually see what the classes are on the ground. Um, can zoom in. You can just say, okay, for example, what is this red? What is this red about? Well, there's a way to check that. Um, you can also check the signature. Let's see where the signature is. No, we created them in the output. We created we didn't have, the signature is not there, but it's there. It's like it's a text. It's a file that is not in a format. We can see it here. So let's just see the what we have here. Just to be curious, I might want to see, okay, if I do in its output, let's say data and uh, new feature class, um, and then I create the polygon. It's like a check 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 classes, checking classes. This is just for you to see what happened. Next, 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 finish. So by checking classes, I can create my polygons to check. So right click, edit features, start editing. I can check, and then I hit this one and I click on this. I can check this first class. This one, I click here, click here, click here, click here, click here, and finish sketch. This is the first polygon. Second one, I can check also. I finished with the red. Can go ahead with the green and zoom in. I don't need to zoom in. I can just go ahead and just click on to do this. and I can just go like this. Even if it's small, it can just show me what it is. And can just say, okay, finish sketch. The green is done. I'm going to do the blue. Just wondering what this kind of blue is really. Uh, Finish sketch, and I'm going to do the which color? Uh, Here is another big one, so I can also do that. You can do as much as you want. This is just for checking again. Um, I'm not sure what this is, and right click, uh, finish sketch, and I'm going to do the which one didn't I do here? I can just zoom out and check, check, um, and check and check. So um, well, just so we don't want to go into detail, we can always all right, let's say we have these classes. Let's just go. We can check those, so it's fine. All right, so we go to editor, save edits, editor, stop editing. So okay, so now we are going to add these features to Google Earth. So we're going to convert to use the conversion tool. Here to KML, we're going to use these guys, checking classes, and then we are going to say, okay, output checking. All right, so then, so let's put in 5,000. All right, and then we here, okay, and output, and let's just check that. Check. It's in the data, it's in the session 5, it's in the output. Checking. All right, let's just blow that up. Now, happens that the one actually for the water checking classes. So this was the big one. Remember, the big one was the zone to layer. So the big one was the red one. This red one, the red one. And if we go to the attribute table, we can clearly see that the big one, this big one was the red one. So on Google Earth, the big one is the it can be farmland. It can be farmland. How about this one? This one is the also farmland. The second one, which is this one. So this also, it's a second one also farmland. So this one is farmland. The other one also is also farmland. How about the third one? Maybe the third one. The third one is same thing. So let's see. Third one, choose this one. This one. Oh, this is water. This is water. Start with a 511 14. 51114. 51114. Okay, so the classification here, if you look at this guy, and you notice that the guy we are selecting is actually in the water, is the water, is the water. Same as the last one. Let's check. The last one is water. The last one is water, and the previous one is water. You see that? And so if we go to here, it's blue. It's blue actually. It's water. So pretty much okay. I think the unsupervised classification was pretty much okay. But then you might miss. Also, if you see the river, you can see a river here. You can pretty much see a river flowing. If you didn't have a river shape file, I think this will be a good opportunity for you to trace a river, and you can get a river easily. You can trace it easily by using this imagery. Of course, the higher the resolution, the better. But I don't see, for example, the built-up area. It's not very conspicuous. That's why we need to proceed with supervised classification, because the supervised classification can capture some of the issues we don't necessarily see here. All right. So, all right. So this is it for the and then you can also, based on how you know the ground, what's on the ground and what's on the image, and also you can also go to the ground to see exactly what it is, and you can assign them names. You can say, okay, this is agriculture, this is farmland, or this is like a mixed forest, or degraded forest. So you can decide also the different number of classes. But definitely this is helpful if you are highlighting measure classes like water, like vegetation, and you can see, for example, the roads, which is here. You can see roads here, but roads correspond also to the land, so it's not really clear. Um, but here you can see that roads are totally, they look different. They don't look like land, so they are totally different. Well, there are some pieces of land that looks like roads, so you need to be very careful in terms of classifying your image and make sure that you don't confuse the land with the roads. So this is going, in the next video we are going to, I'm going to show you how to do the supervised